Welcome back to Missing Digit Garage. We're going to do some axle seals on this nice Rubicon over here. They've been leaking pretty bad, and we're going to walk you through it, show you how it's done. The same principle applies to the Dana 30 also. So we'll be covering two axles in one. If you have oil leaking out from around the ends of your axles and getting onto the C's, the C being this part here, and you got oil down in there, that means you got leaky seals inside the differential, and they need to come out. I'll take off the two pins on the back of the caliper. That one's pretty tough to turn. It's got a hydro assist on it, so it doesn't make it any easier. We're only going to show one side in this video because the other side is basically identical, and there's no sense in going over everything twice. Make sure you keep your disc going back on the right side, because the pads and this disc, they are worn into each other and broke into each other. So you don't want to be mixing the pads up on these calipers or the disc location, anything like that. Yeah, we got the spacer bolts off. Yes, we'll put this out of the way. That out of the way. Might be a 13. Daisy, come on. Yeah, they're 13 millimeter. And that one wasn't very tight. Let me see if I can show you these. Move this camera around here. Try and show the back side of this. These three guys right here. There's three of them, and they're 13 millimeter. You got to get those out on the way. Dogs are going crazy in the neighborhood. I don't know if you can hear that back there. Making a lot of racket. I don't know why I'm not using my air ratchet. Oh, man. Okay, here's the third bolt coming out. Now we got to free up this hub. Oh, this one's going to come apart easy. There we go. What you want to do is straighten up this knuckle. Get it a straight shot when you go to pull any axles. This is one of them CV axles. It's an aftermarket one. And they usually don't give you much room. Sometimes you have to do clearance work on the on these knuckles here to get these things to fit in. But hopefully it's just going to pull right out and not bind up on anything. And hopefully we won't have to wrestle the rubber boot. Or we're going to find out. Yeah, it looks like we may have to push the boot off. To get the... Yeah, I've got the bolts out all the way around. We've got one that's broken off here from making contact up above. Looks like we have water in our gear lube here. I can see it dripping out. It's all milky. That'll probably explain why this thing was leaking out of the ends. See that gray? That's never good. I like to use this painter's 5-in-1 to get in between the cover and the differential there. Oh, holy smokes! I thought I had a bolt on the top. Guess I didn't have it in very far. Wow! Look at that. That is gray, gray, gray. Well, we know why it's leaking for sure. Okay, there we go. Okay, these are RCV shafts, which basically means they're a pain in the ass and put up more of a fight than the stock one would. So you can see it doesn't want to budge because the cup's on. So I took an old screwdriver and I kind of rounded off the ends there, make it a little smoother. And if you get the right angle on this thing, you can pry that cup off of there like that. And make sure the knuckle's straightened out. Let's see if we get lucky and it comes out. Okay. Like I said, those things are a pain in the butt. I'm going to try this. I'm going to put the axle nut on and then hook a slide hammer to it. See if it'll pop that axle out. It's going to be kind of tricky. I never want to see that. Didn't have this problem on the other side. Okay, we got a stuck RCV shaft. I'm gonna try it from behind the boot, see if I can't get it. It seems to be stuck in the locker. And I know it's not a C-clip axle, so got somewhere. Let's see. Okay, here's what we're going to do. Seeing as how that CV joint pulled apart and that axle is still stuck in there, first thing we're going to try is we're going to weld this bolt right here to the end of the axle. I'm going to have this slid over it, and I'm going to screw that into a slide hammer. If this bolt breaks for some reason, we're going to go to a bigger bolt. But we're going to work up, start small and work up. In desperate times, you do desperate things. Not that we're desperate. But anyways, clean it up. Let's get this end, get it degreased so we can have a decent weld. Got to get that pooling brake cleaner out of the interior of that cup, so otherwise the sparks from the welder will catch that on fire, and we don't want that. We don't want an end like that to start with. Hopefully I'll have some dexterity with these gloves and be able to hold this thing into place properly. Okay, there we go. That's probably gonna work. Let's see. Okay, that's welded all the way around. Should be as strong as that bolt's going to be. Let me see if you can see that all right. I guess we're zoomed in all the way. Anyways, I got it tacked all the way around where it's solid. So we're going to screw the slide hammer into this coupler. We're going to give it a try right now. Okay. Here goes nothing. Oh, let me take the ground clamp off the axle. Okay. We're going to cut this off flush with the end of the axle, and no harm done. The axle's going to be just fine. Okay, seeing as how this carrier has to come out, it's an E-locker, and so what we have to do is we have to get this wiring to come through. We don't want to clip this. We don't want to go Neanderthal and just clip it and resplice it. We need to get inside this plug and release these pins. There's a little lock. We need to pull each wire out individually out of the plug, and that way it'll feed back through and be a cleaner job, more professional style. That's what you want. You want as good as it can be, because you don't want to be cutting this stuff. I don't have the proper release pins, so what I'm going to use a tip cleaner from a torch, and we should be able to find the right size one to get in there and release that lock. I don't know how good you can see this on the camera. Let me look. But yeah, there's two little holes, one above each one of these pins here, and what you want to do is get something small that it's going to go in, and that felt like it went in okay. So you want to try to get that wire to release, because we don't want to end up having to clip anything. But you know, if it has to come to that, it will. Come on. Doesn't feel like it's releasing. Because these are round, and the release is supposed to be flat. Let me try a little bit larger one. See if we can't get lucky. Otherwise, I may have to go to Napa and see if they have one there. A little release kit. Come on, baby. Okay, we're gonna try this. I took one of these cleaners and I beat it flat with a hammer on the vise. So we're gonna see how that works. It should be releasing it. Here's what I end up having to do. Nothing was going to release those things unless it was the absolute proper tool. And I got them out, but I had to break the plug to get them out. And I can get a new plug through Eaton and go that route. I really didn't want to cut them. On these Dana Spicer axles or housings, they're really good about marking the caps. Right here we have an upside down T, and the T is kind of they tried to do an upside down T here, but the part of the T is gone. You can see a little bit of a, let me zoom in a little bit on that. That's supposed to be the upside down T there. Oh, and they re-stamped it again over here, I just noticed. Let me see if I can get close enough. Well, it's kind of tough to tell, but there's an upside down T kind of tilted in between those numbers right there. So we know that's the right cap and it's in the right spot. Over here we got the sideways T, because they always do one direction and one the other. Here's a sideways T. It looks like a sideways L because the one ear didn't make an impression good enough. And here's a sideways T right here. Let me get my try to get this thing to focus over there. There it is. Well, anyways, you always want to check for that stuff before you start tearing those, taking those caps off and tearing things apart. And if they haven't been marked, like a lot of the GM stuff, I noticed a lot of that stuff's not marked. So you definitely want to mark it with a punch, so you got the right stuff going on. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and pull this out. And hang on this thing just in case they want to fall out. They should be held in with preload, but sometimes they're not. Never trust a preload. Hopefully we have to work to get this out. Okay. We're gonna have to work to get it out. We're gonna try the easy way first. What size wrench we got here? Oh, there's some more. Let's see. Must be 3/4. It's a little loose. That probably work for. We're going to try to rotate it out. A lot of times you can do it this way. Turn the yoke. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, come right out. Put that wrench on here. Put the wrench on. I spun the yoke. And what that does is the wrench wedges above and it forces the carrier outward. What we don't want to do is let these shims get away from us and go falling everywhere, because they have to go back in the same location. It looks like we have one thick shim on this side that's machined at the factory, and it looks like we have a stack on the other side. Okay, I got the shims on that side. Passenger side shims, driver side shim. Don't mix them up. Okay, what you can do on these, when there's multiple shims, you can put a little tie wire around them, a zip tie. You know, it'll keep them all together. Helps eliminate ways to screw up. You can write with a Sharpie on the shim packs too, which side they came from. That's another way to help eliminate. Another way to eliminate a very interesting. appears that these seals weren't installed correctly. I'll show you real quick here. Okay, what's going on here is that shim is, or not the shim, that seal is in crooked. It's not in deep enough and it's tilted. I gotta get some light on in there. Hang on. And you can see on the bottom there how much that metal lip is sticking out. And up at the top, that metal lip is hardly sticking out. That thing's in there all tilted. Cattywampus. The other one isn't even installed all the way. It's sticking out. So you can see it's out about 3/16 of an inch, too shallow. So no wonder why this thing was getting water in it. I was suspecting that it was the water was coming through the hole up at the top up there for the electronics to come through, for the wires to come through, but I'm starting to suspect it was these seals not properly installed. Anyways, wow. This seal just about fell out when I touched it with a pipe. I stuck a pipe through the end of the tube to just knock it out. And as soon as I touched it, it fell out. So I'm gonna slide this pipe down this other side. Now this axle also, it's had the reinforcing tubes installed inside the tubes, inside the axle tubes. So the dimension, the inside dimension's a little smaller. It's a little harder to get the edge to knock it out, but well, that one did the same thing. I just touched it with my piece of pipe, and it come flying right out. It was barely in there. Sing it, Huey. Look at that goop. We'll try it through the short side now. Same thing as the other side. Kind of like cleaning out a shotgun. Get my pretty little polar bear towel. Poor little polar bear. Okay, we need to check this this nice flat surface here and make sure it's nice and flat. I like to especially check this lower. Let me see if the camera's pointing here. Yeah, okay, we're good, we're covered. Okay, you really want to check. Keep an eye on this lower section here. This takes a lot of damage off-roading from rocks, impacts and things, and what it can do is it can you can see right through here it's not flat anymore, but you can take a file and you can fix that up, and you want to make sure you're flat all the way. You can see right here it's fixing it up a little better already. This will help keep a good seal with the diff cover, which is kind of important. I don't know if you can see that or not, but I'll see if I can bring it in closer here. I guess you got to get the right reflection, but there's a lot of high spots right here, 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 and here. Mostly from hitting rocks. They didn't machine this thing very flat. You can see all the high spots. That's good enough. Oops. I usually have good luck just tapping these seals in with a little aluminum disc, you know, like for a seal driver. And but they make a special tool for this where it goes against the seal here, against the seal there, and you thread the center and it pushes the seals out like that. If you're having problems, I'd imagine you could, I haven't done it, but I want to try this, but I'm pretty sure it'll work. You can cut a piece of all thread, just a little bit longer, where you can put the all thread through, put a large washer on the all thread, and a nut on each side, and then you could just expand the nuts, and I would imagine that would push it through just fine. I haven't had to make one yet, but I've been getting around to thinking about it. Well, anyways, okay, what we want to do is we want to prep our seal for installation. So what I like to do first, because I know we're going to be hitting on the, you know, there's going to be some shock waves hitting that seal. That little spring in here, you don't want that little spring to get knocked out of place. But if you put a decent amount of grease on that seal or on that spring, it gives you a lot better chances of keeping it in place. So just swab plenty of that on there. Just try to keep it off the outer surface. If you get it on there, just wipe it off. You know, if you just wipe off the outer surface there with any excessive amount of grease. Alright, that's pretty clean. Now what I want to do here is I'm going to put some RTV. Oh crap. Got to poke a hole in the RTV to get some out. Oh. Just grab anything I had handy to poke it through. Oh, that is not working. I'm so embarrassed. There we go. We definitely want some silicone on this one for sure because it's got some pretty deep scratches. And I'd like to put a little bit on this side too. Just nice and light. Excuse me for not holding that in the where the camera could see it a little better. Okay, that baby's ready for an install. Okay, as you can see, that's all flush now. Flush all the way around. Oh, the lovely Miss Laura's going to come visit us. Hello.
Hello, are you in production?
Yeah. We're fixing F-ups. Yeah, so that's not hanging out like the other one was. That's nice and flush. I don't know if you can see it there good enough, but I want to zoom in a little bit. Oh, we are zoomed in. Anyways, that's where we want it.
That's
on to the next one. Do the same thing on the other side. That way I don't have to bore you with a duplicate install. Yeah, now that the seals are installed, what you want to do is make sure you get a good amount of grease on the inside of this seal now. If you do that ahead of time, then you'll have to handle a greasy seal, and it's pretty messy. But after you install them, swab them up real good with some grease right there on the inside. That way the axle will spin really nice and it'll install a little better. Go ahead and hit both sides. We skipped showing you the install on this side because it's just the same as the other. Okay, time to get this carrier back in. You gotta be patient and you gotta be careful not to wreck any shims. I got my shims on the sides that they came out of. I always hate this part. It is so stressful putting these fuckers in. Or did I say that out loud? Sorry. Might have to. Oh, there we go. Come on, baby. brass hammer. That big wedge was kind of there we go. Shim was kind of walking out on me, that large one. This one here. Okay, that's not going to go anywhere. It's in there pretty good. Okay. We'll get a cap on it. We'll double check our T sideways. Okay. Okay, we're going to torque those caps down. We're going to set these ones at 80. Okay, we're going to wrap this video up. The carrier is in, the seals are in. Basically from here, it's just reinstall the axles. I don't need to waste my time showing you guys all that because you already took them out and you just reversed that procedure to get them back in. You know, we're going to try to keep this video kind of short because I have the tendency to run them kind of long, and it's sometimes it's not always the best way to do it. But anyways, yeah, we just do the sealer, the cap, fill it. There's no break-in on this. We didn't re-gear it or nothing. And got to get me a new plug for the wires because I ended up having to break that plug to get these wires out of it. They didn't release properly. But anyways, you got how to put them in. You got how to take them out. And that's basically about all you need. You know, tune back in with us for more videos. Subscribe, hit the like button. We're going to have more videos coming up here at the Missing Digit Garage. And we'll just have a variety of things coming up. You know, you never know what ends up on this lift here or inside the workshop. But we're going to be doing something. And we'll show it to you. You guys have a good day. Thanks a lot for watching.